After the break, you'll be listening to a conversation I had recently with the Executive Director, SME, at the Bank of Industry, asking him to provide answers to some of the questions on the lips of existing and potential clients of the bank. I must say that you will find his answers helpful if you hope to do business with the Bank of Industry.
The agricultural sector due to limited processing and preservation capacity. This results in high food prices and food importation, with its attendant effects on the nation's foreign reserves. To enable Nigerians optimize the benefits from the country's vast agricultural products such as cassava, oil palm, rice, tomatoes, and others, the Bank of Industry has launched a 5 billion naira cottage agro-processing fund, the CAP Fund. Customers can access the fund to establish plans to process our various agro-produce into food products or intermediate raw materials for industries at a single-digit interest rate of 9% per annum. For more information on the CAP Fund, please visit www.boinigeria.com/capfund. Bank of Industry, developing Nigeria's agro-processing industry through the CAP Fund.
Now let's go to the issue of working capital. Almost everyone who is borrowed from you wants additional money. They want you to support them with working capital. What's your thoughts in that direction?
Yeah, we've gotten feedback from our customers, and in most cases, we want to be proactive. We want to anticipate their needs. What used to happen was that we finance plant and machinery, and you get your working capital from the commercial banks. But we know that increasingly a number of them have been having challenges, and that was why we entered into agreements with 10 SME-friendly commercial banks. And we've agreed with them that they would provide working capital to most of our customers that we assist with plant and machinery. But we're going a step further now by reviewing our policies internally. So we're now making working capital available to most of our customers who we've assisted to procure their plant and machinery. So things are improving, and increasingly we're taking steps to ensure that we proactively meet the needs of SMEs.
All right, apart from the issue of working capital, you know, many of your customers want more. They always want more. They're also asking for a few other things, like money to be able to secure their accommodation. Some of them have said, look, I have this equipment, but the cost of getting an accommodation in a nice place in town usually is very difficult, and they want that kind of funding as well. Some want to go into exporting. Are you ready to support in those directions?
If it's to add value to our natural resources for export purposes, of course, yes, we do that. It's part of our mandate. Because by so doing, we are generating foreign exchange for the country, and also conserving foreign resources for Nigeria. So it's part of the developmental impact that we look at in addition to job creation. Now, when we talk about space or accommodation, you know, there are 5 canons of credit. You have character, which has to do with the entrepreneur. You are talking about the capacity of the business to be able to generate the cash flow, because the cash flow is, the loan is supposed to be financed, service from the cash flow. You are looking at capital, which means that you must have your own resources. You must have your skin in the game. You must have something to lose. If the business is worth 10 million, the bank will not give you 10 million. Perhaps it will give you 8 million. You must show proof that you have your own 2 million. And it's from that 2 million, they are supposed to at least provide your own accommodation to show capacity. And then you are talking about the condition of the entrepreneur and the environment in which he or she will operate. And then lastly, collateral. Because the business will be viable in the first instance before we even talk about collateral. It's usually the last consideration. In some other climes, they lend based on cash flow, not asset-based collateral. But we are improving in this area. You can borrow up to 10 million from the Bank of Industry without collateral. What we require from you will be personal guarantees of people who know you, who still borders on your character. They must be engaged in employment. In the public service, for example, they could be on level 12 and above. If it's in the banking sector, you could be an assistant manager. If it's a private company, you could be a manager in the telecoms company, oil company, or any other reputable establishment. Then you come up with notarized statement of net worth, substantial enough to cover the loan that we're talking about. So increasingly, we are adjusting the standards because essentially it is the business that should pay its way, really, not the collateral. Collateral is just a fallback in case anything goes wrong.
Yes, let's still stay on the issue of collateral. At the last AMSCO conference, one of the panelists raised a question, and he said, look, collateral lending is becoming increasingly unfashionable. It's not the trend no longer. What's slowing, for instance, the Bank of Industry in towing that path?
Well, when he says not the trend and it's unfashionable, he spoke in relative terms, or people speak in relative terms, comparing Nigeria with other societies. And I've always maintained that in designing a financial product or the way a financial institution operates, you cannot but take into consideration the operating environment, right? The business environment. In other climes, people are very conscious of their credit. You have a credit scoring arrangement. Right from school, as a student, when you subscribe to a phone plan, you know that you are beginning to build your credit. If you default, right, or you get a card from a supermarket and you default, it begins to affect your credit. Information is available centrally on your credit. If you're in the supermarket and they ask for your phone number, by just making your phone number available, all your data comes on the system. Who you are, where you work, where you live, and a lot more. So they have a lot of information, right? So when they are evaluating, they can do cash flow-based lending. They're looking at the character of the customer. But unfortunately, here, we're still evolving in many regards. Information on members of our society is inadequate. Although the introduction of the BVN, that's bank verification number, and then the national identity card, these are steps being taken to bring more and more of our people within the central data management system. So with more of that, financial institutions are likely to relax. But unfortunately, from the point of view of KYC, you don't even know where many people live. Where they live is not even on the map. So how do you lend to somebody who you don't know where he or she lives or where he works? If he defaults, he disappears into the thin air. And don't let's forget, credit is credit all over the world. Even if it's a grant, there must still be some traceability. Right? You want to ensure that such funding are well utilized. And you must know who your customer is. And that's why when you even go to a commercial bank to open an account, they ask for reference. You must be introduced by either an existing customer of that bank or another customer, a customer from another bank, and they send your reference form to the other bank. So look, get your customer to confirm that he or she knows this applicant. So it's the nature of the environment in which we are operating. But like I said earlier, we are taking steps to relax some of these conditions on a case-by-case basis after we've de-risked the transaction.
All right, thank you very much for providing clarity on these issues that are of concern to your clients. Thank you very much. That's how it's been on the program BOI Weekly today. We do hope that as a business owner, you have learned a thing or two that will help you position better for partnership with the Bank of Industry in the new year so as to make your business more competitive. Remember, you too can find the best way to fund your business at boinigeria.com. All you need to do is download the SME BOI loan app at the Google Play Store so that you can start applying for your loan right away. If you want to know how to maximize the BOI loan app, tweet at me at KAY and I'll give you all the information that you require. From me and the rest of the team, bye for now.